In this video, I gathered my friends to roleplay as a dog pack. Before the video starts, I'm going to show each of the dogs and their status in the pack. First, we have Jäger, a German Shepherd at rank 1, played by me. Then we have Vector, a Doberman, at rank 2, played by Jerry the Weird Child. Brutus, a Great Pyrenees, rank 3, played by Gloxy V. Phantom, a Leonberger, rank 4, Mint Gull. Thresher, a German Shepherd, at rank 5, played by Oakland Moth. Boulder, a Husky, at rank 6, played by Lights. Spot, a Dalmatian, rank 7, Mind of Frenzy. Marty, a Beagle, at rank 8, by Experimental Almond. Pecan, mixed breed, at rank 9, played by Chaotic Thing. Kyoshi and Shadowland also make an appearance about halfway through the video. With that out of the way, please enjoy role-playing as a dog pack. Jäger squinted, looking at all of the scattered dogs of his pack. He trotted down the plank, nails clanking against the wood. He gave a distant nod to Vector, the Doberman, before padding over to the tire. How are you doing? He looked down at Boulder, laying comfortably inside the makeshift nest.
Boulder let out a huff before speaking. I'm fine, though it would be better if we didn't drink garbage water every morning.
Jäger nodded, looking over his shoulder before replying. We can travel to the large river. It is night, so the cat should be away from the forest.
Boulder stared at Jäger before nodding. Anything to get out of this place.
I'm doing my best, Jäger promised with a stressed tone. He turned, walking back up to the crate. Pack, gather, he barked. We will travel to the large river for fresh water. Avoid the wildcats at all costs. We are cloaked by the night, so hopefully it won't be a problem. I will lead. If for some reason I depart, follow Vector. He knows where the river starts. Make sure there are dogs behind Boulder, he added, for no apparent reason other than to keep Boulder from being in the back. Let's go. Jäger sniffed, the scent of two-leg rubbish still within the water. The nearby bridge was a spot for littering. He turned, continuing down the stream's edge. Fresh water, he nodded. We will try to hunt again at sunrise. He lifted a back paw and scratched at his ear as he spoke. Are you going to drink? He looked back at Boulder.
Boulder blinked at Jäger blankly before nodding and walking towards the river to drink.
The fishes? Spot peered to Marty. Too slippery, I think. Fish? Jäger patted over, curious. Are you trying to fish? Fish are far too quick for my teeth. Faster than the mole coyotes, I commented, turning as I stepped further onto the riverbank.
He frowned, but they could be something, like I've seen the kitty cats get them.
Yeah, try, he squinted.
Spot grimaced. Oh dear, he muttered under his breath and backed up.
Marty looked unsure of his own idea. I wasn't sure. Looked back to the water with a whine. Alright, here goes.
The canine stepped forward, and as Marty jumped to try and catch the fish, Vector pushed Pekin down with his large paw. Oopsies.
The small dog struggled around, clearly not catching anything but waves in the river.
Ack! She yelled very loudly, stumbling and falling ungracefully into the water and immediately getting soaked.
Phantom chuckled, watching Pekin paddle around.
Jäger snorted at Marty's attempt. Did you think you could dive at them?
Well, I, tried. He got out, feeling rather silly. I'm just really hungry, Marty whined.
It's daylight now, so we can hunt. Not fish, though. He slipped into the water after Pecan. He grabbed her scruff and dragged her up. I caught a dog, he mocked, letting her go. Let's go to the pine forest.
She sighed. What if we run into more of those kitties? I got a nasty scratch from one last time.
Did a cat a third of your size bother you? He tilted his head. They're no problem as long as they're not in a group.
Marty chimes in. We can get kitties for food, right? Marty seemed unsure of his idea again, but offered it nonetheless.
Spot scoffed in distaste. Seriously? You'd eat one of those?
We don't eat cats. He looked at Marty as if he'd suggested something horrid. I've seen squirrels bigger than cats, Pecan offered.
Marty pouted. Yeah, but we ate trash already.
Phantom sighed, rolling her eyes. To be honest, I'm almost hungry enough to try anything.
Cats are skin and bones. The wild cats don't eat well, and we wouldn't gain much. Focus on squirrels and rabbits. He turned harshly, ending the conversation. Keep to the outskirts of the land. The cats don't take well if you go deep into the forest. If they're still here, that is. He flicked his tail for them to go. Nice, he nodded to Thresher's catch. I nod in response, unable to respond with a rabbit in my mouth. He blinked at his brother. Wow. Okay.
The canine blinked back, smiling. I'm just that awesome, he huffs.
I'm trying to hunt for the less physically capable. He lifted his chin disrespectfully. Oh, I guess I don't have to.
I got one! Marty looked happy to the leader.
His ear twitched, unimpressed.
She perked up her ears, sensing something. She dropped the mouse, sniffing at the air. I smell cat, she growled.
We've caught enough. Go back to the underbridge.
Cat! Marty looked around excitedly, forgetting his food.
He picked up the rabbit. Go back, he repeated.
Boulder! Marty leapt down. I got a bunny!
Jäger let out a growl at the smaller dog, walking in. I told you to go home.
It was awesome. The bunny didn't even see me. Oh, Marty looked shyly away. Okay.
He dropped the rabbit to Boulder. I smell it on you, he huffed. Something's wrong.
Boulder attempted to speak, but suddenly winced. Just some stomach pain, they assured before looking at the rabbit. Thank you, Jäger.
His whiskers twitched, none the wiser. Get back to the underbridge when you can. It's safer.
Boulder nodded, not saying a word as they ate the rabbit.
Her attention switched to Jäger almost immediately. Where's Boulder? In a den. There. He paused as they walked in. There.
Here I am, Boulder announced, walking towards the pack.
He eyed Boulder's stance. This really isn't the best place to shelter. He looked at the rainwater rushing down the slope that led into the tunnel.
I mean, at least we aren't out there, Marty woofed, feeling a lot better with the full belly.
She licked her muzzle, her stomach a little less hungry now. She turned to Boulder, frowning. You know, I didn't see you hunt anything. Have you eaten?
I gave them food, he interjected.
Yeah, I got Boulder and Jäger a bunny, Marty woofed proudly.
Boulder gave a look to Phantom before turning to Jäger.
She turned to Jäger, eyeing them. Strange, she murmured.
Let's go to the shed, he blurted to get the attention off of Boulder. Now. We'll only get more wet if we stay here, and even worse, it could flood the next time it rains.
Victor sighed dramatically. Jäger was right. This place could flood the next time it does rain.
And now that the rain is lightened, we're good to leave. So we will, he spoke with finality. And now the ground is gross, Pecan huffed, pointing her nose at some soggy garbage.
I knew it, she barked, staring at the cat.
Phantom. He tapped the larger dog with his tail. Chase it off.
She bowed forward without another word, barking.
He nodded, continuing. Boulder gets the tire in the back. Everything else is up for grabs, he instructed. And we're closer to hunting ground here.
I call the box! Marty woofed, scampering up with unclipped claws.
Still smells like garbage, Pecan complained.
Boulder didn't wait, staring at the rubbery nest as they walked towards it.
Vector rolled his eyes, glancing around. I'll find my own little area. He walks off.
Jäger nodded to himself, having found a place for the pack to rest. He then left to patrol the area. Jäger drank the water. Boulder was right. This water's nasty. Jäger let out a defensive snarl at the small cat. Leave the little ones alone, she'd hiss. Jäger didn't understand what the cat was spitting. He showed his fangs, trying to get them to leave. She would hiss.
The large dog patted forward, glaring at the cats. A growl rumbled in her throat.
Oh god, that's a lot. Would you look at that? I blink, watching the small patrol of cats. A bunch of kitties. My brows knit, nose bridge scrunching. If they don't leave in the next... now, he blinked. Chase them off. I nod, paws aching to give them a good chase.
She waited for a few moments before stepping forward. Her tail wagged excitedly.
He let out a bark, the signal.
She lunged forward, biting down on the smaller cat.
He stepped behind the cats, cornering them.
Her fur was a little too thick for the little cat's claws. She picked up Dewpaw and threw them off the box, yowling with glee.
Jäger didn't like killing cats, but this was their land now, and the cats had to respect that. Are we hunting it now? She bounced excitedly. She lunged forward to sniff the cat. Dew slams into the ground hard, her leg landing wrong. Pain shoots through her, and she yowls out. Push this one until it runs away. There's more at the river.
She wasn't going to eat the cat. Jäger said not to, but she could have some fun with it.
I bark to alert the pack leader. There's more here. Jäger let out a snarl, snapping white fangs at the dark cat in the front. He was caught off guard. It happened so quickly, the fangs barely hit his pelt. He quickly backed up, lunging back at the dog in front of him. Wow, it was big. He wasn't sure how much he could do. He barked to leave, though the cat wouldn't understand. He let out a yip as the cat clung onto his pelt. 3 cats on each dog. Just make them back up. She clawed forward at the legs of the dog. He'd take the opportunity to dig his claws into the dog's side, trying to do as much as possible. Jäger let out a frightening sound of alert, needing help. He bit forward, grabbing Shadowclaw by the neck fur and shaking them. Shadow yelped, the dog shaking her around like some kind of live chew toy. He clung onto the cat, refusing to let go until the other cat did. She flipped around, hissing angrily, "Don't you dare touch my brother, you mongrel!" He'd quickly return a bite to the dog's neck, trying to get them off of his sister. Yet he was quickly thrown away from them. He let go of the shaken deputy. "Mingy Mutt, I'll claw your snout off!" she yowled, clawing at the air. She swiped her claws at the snout of the dog, once to assess where they stood in combat. Some dogs knew how to fight, others didn't and would run. Spot winced, backing off. His nose bled slightly. Jäger let out a bark, stepping forward and stepping onto the cat's back with a lot of force. She crumpled under the dog's weight, her snarl turning into a yell that rose up among the battle. He looked behind, seeing Boulder being attacked. He had to kill this cat to get the rest of them to leave. Her tail still tucked between her legs as her eyes widened. Solaris Star! She jumped in, holding onto the canine's side, biting its shoulder. Her snout turned up and bit at the dog, latching onto his paw. She had felt something break and she didn't like it, but her clan would come first. Pain later, loyalty first. He let out a snarl as the other cat injured him. He bit into the leader's spine. He picked up the white and black cat, throwing her. Her claw sank into the canine's leg. She might be unexperienced at fighting, but she wouldn't stand back. And with that, her vision flared to a bright white, and then black as her connection to life was severed with a flick of the jaw. She was tossed aside like some prey. He tore away from the cat, snarling as he saw the other cat hit the ground. Shadow Clan, back to camp now, she ordered. Go, we have to go! He snapped his teeth at the warrior in warning, leaving to help Boulder. The she wouldn't back down.
Boulder stared at Jäger, stepping back to let the higher rank deal with the cat.
Jäger put himself between the cat and Boulder. He snarled, showing fangs. The she would glare her teeth, clearly not backing down anytime soon. Back to camp, now! She hissed the order. The cats weren't listening. You're coming with me! Eh? Are you okay? He turned, ignoring the gash on his shoulder and stinging in his pelt.
Boulder felt a tang of pain on their nose. Dumb cat thought they can bite through my pelt.
You'd never be bested by a single cat, Jäger assured, touching his nose to Boulder's scratched muzzle before walking away. Leave the body. The cats will retrieve it.
She nodded. Where are we going next, then? Phantom asked.
They won't try this again, he nodded, hoping he was right. Get back to the shed.
Boulder walked back to the den, wanting nothing more than the rubber nest they were so used to.
He sat and licked his pelt, trying to dry it the best he could. I'm not even...
She moved towards Jäger after calming down from the excitement of the battle. Something had started to bother her. Jäger, are you free to talk? She murmured, her tone suggesting it was a quiet matter.
The rain is so loud, I don't think we need to leave the shed. Just talk quietly, he urged.
Phantom nodded, sitting down in front of him. I would have killed one of those cats without hesitation. The only reason I didn't was because I thought you'd disapprove. But you... Tell me if I'm out of place for saying this, but you did kill a cat. That isn't like you. Something's changed. I'm curious, she finished, refusing to say that she was outright worried.
Our pack was getting hurt. Killing a cat would get the message across, and force them to leave. I had no choice. He seemed to be irritated by the questioning, uncharacteristically so.
She perked her ears forward, sensing she'd struck a nerve. Jäger, something's going on. I won't judge you for it. I respect you too much to, Phantom pressed.
He lifted his chin in dismissiveness. We need to leave this forest. The cats did too much damage. He walked past Phantom, looking around at his mostly sleeping pack. Pack, gather, he barked. Obviously, the wildcats don't want us here. I don't expect them to come back, but we shouldn't linger around until they do. We're moving again. Ugh, I like that box, Pecan grumbled quietly.
Marty wilted slightly. But we beat them all up. You even ate one of them. Do we have to? He whined.
She stayed silent. Maybe she pressed too much. If she just shut up, maybe they wouldn't have to move. Again.
I did not eat one of them, he yipped.
Sorry, yeah, none of us did, Marty woofed.
We leave now. Travel in your normal order. He nodded. This is sheltered enough, and we have fresh water. He looked at Boulder specifically.
Den's fresh water and no trash? She could get used to this.
Better than the rot that was our previous home, he adds.
Boulder, stay behind. When are we going to talk about this? He blinked. His whiskers twitched. You're expecting. You have been for a while.
Boulder shifted around a bit before looking back down and responding. I just don't want them to know who the father is.
The father is not my concern. You cannot keep fighting in this condition, he blinked. I killed that cat because you were being attacked. I did so they would leave. Jäger let out a snarl.
Boulder heard the cats behind before screaming a howl at them.
Fidget Jump's fur bristled as she jumped back as the stinky scent of dog hit her nose. You're kiddin'. I glare at the new batch of cats.
Boulder looks visually distressed, as if wanting to kill one of them.
Okay.
Boulder steps forward slowly.
Boulder! He yipped. Hoot Whisker slowed down as the snarls reached her ears pinning, seeing. Was that a whole pack? Her ears dropped, her back arching. Dear stars, she rasped.
Boulder nodded their head, as if telling the cats to leave.
Hoot Whisker looked back at the frantic motions of the canine. While nothing was behind her, she turned before she nudged Fidget Jump back. Let's go, she mumbled.
Boulder let out a single bark at the three cats.
Let's go!
I want to get them! I want to get them! Marty whined with excitement.
Boulder walked back to the pack.
Her growl turned into a heavy snarl. Boulder, we could have chased them.
And what would we gain from that? He nipped the air as he growled.
Territorial rights, she shot back.
Chasing cats deeper into their own territory is a good way to walk right into an ambush. Are you even thinking?
Phantom bared her teeth. But they're just cats. Soon enough we'll have the same amount of cats that drove us out of the shed. Then what?
Boulder still looking towards the terrain ahead of them. If we chase them off, we go into land we do not know. They are scared of us. It's easier to have them run.
She let out a muffled bark, glaring at the two before backing down.
Boulder is right. What's gotten under your fur? We can rest now. He took a deep breath to calm himself.
Why are you still awake? Boulder asked the Jäger softly.
The cats might come back. I'm keeping watch. Being useful, unlike other dogs.
Well, if you're gonna stay up all night, bring me something to eat. We can share, Boulder commanded, although it sounded more like a request.
Howl if you see something. Anything, he said while stretching. He dropped the squirrel, sniffing the air for a moment. Stand up. He blinked at the odd-pelted pups. They weren't huskies, that's for sure. Keep them safe, is all he could say. He wasn't sure how the others would handle this.
They're mine, Boulder said, a bit too defensive.
Jäger flinched at Boulder's hostility, walking away. He eventually dropped his head, listening to the rest of the dogs sleep.
Hector got up, shaking his fur, previously coated with the sand. His throat was parched.
Jäger stood, seeing Vector move. It was time to wake up, anyway. All of you, he yipped.
Marty looked
Hi.
up with a lazy eye.
She lifted her head, groaning. It was too early.
Get started hunting, he nodded. Vector will lead you.
Hector nods. Let's make some progress. Quick! He orders with a huff.
She got to her paws, silently moving about. She was still salty about last night.
They can explore now. He blinked kindly at Boulder. Just give them some time to adjust before the pack comes back and finds them.
Kara lifted herself up, opening her eyes for the first time as she yawned.
He wrapped his maw around the lighter colored one, picking her up. He nodded to Pecan, anxiously. Puppies! She yipped, slightly quietly as to not spook them.
He would slightly crawl in a random direction.
She patted in, not too happy about catching a mouse again. Then she spotted the pups. "What's this?" she murmured, her tone unreadable.
My pups. Boulder looked at them proudly.
Pups? He said blankly. Boulder has requested the father remain a secret. They're members of the pack now.
She turned to the other dog, wagging her tail at the bird.
He looked from Boulder to the pups and back to Boulder. Right. She stepped away silently.
You're too small for a bird, she grunted, amused. She can surely try, he chuckled.
The small pup looked annoyed, still looking at the bird with puppy eyes.
Pecan dropped the bird, sitting down at the puppy's paws.
She turned to Boston, waiting for them to take the first bite.
Jäger gave a nod to Boulder, trusting they had this handled. They were their pups, after all. Do you have anything better to do than gawk at some pups? Never seen puppies before?
We're curious is all, she huffed, turning away.
Yeah, what the heck? And when the heck did it happen? Marty woofed, tail wagging.
Do you not... He squinted at Marty. Never mind.
So, can we go see them, or is Boulder gonna eat us? Marty asked.
Ask nicely, he nodded. They should be accepting, if you are.
Marty raced off quickly.
Your anger is misplaced, he spoke to Phantom gently.
She stared out at the forest, tensing as the pack leader spoke.
Jäger flinched. This conversation would have to be later. Boulder, hide your pups, he barked.
She got to her paws, snarling. Then I'll take it out on them, Phantom barked.
Do we fight these ones? Marty asked.
Sure as hell don't eat them, he glanced back.
Wait for a signal, she murmured.
He let out a bark. There were so many dogs, not many cats.
Yelping at the claw on his nose, Marty growled once more, pushing his legs forward to try and bite back.
Jäger barked at the cat, urging Marty on.
Marty barked wildly once more, trying his best to chase after and bite the feline with the encouragement. Marty kept barking and biting as best as he could, mauling the cat with sharp jaws.
Jäger patted off. Marty had this, scarily so. Jäger bit at the cat's tail, trying to get them away. She yelled as she turned around, launching herself at the dog. He stumbled backward, shaking his head to try and get the cat off. Her claws sank into the dog's meaty scruff. He let out a snarl, continuing to back up as the cat clung to his neck fur. How could you? How could you? She cried, her claws sinking deeper as she yowled. He reared his muzzle to the side and jammed it into the cat's ribs uncomfortably.
She patted over slowly, staring the cat in the eyes for a few long moments before lunging forward. Her jaws closed around his neck.
She slipped off, her side landing into the coarse grass. He froze for a moment, envisioning a cat like this stumbling on Boulder and the pups. The pack would have no idea. He let out a yip. We're leaving! We've done enough!
She turned to Jäger, snarling. Seriously?
Let's go! He howled. We're moving across the road. Give me one of the pups, I'll carry them.
Boulder looked at Kiara, trusting Jäger with his pup. Go with Jäger, he told them as they picked up Boston.
That group of logs and pallets is our home for now. This is fairly sheltered.
Why was we brought here, she asked. The area kind of bothered her, since they were no longer in soft grass.
My pups are upset.
I'm upset too, he assured. This is temporary until I think of something better.
Boulder frowned but understood.
He put his head down with a huff.
Despite the fight being over, her fur was still hot with anger. She was right! They didn't show those stupid cats that they shouldn't have messed with them. Now look where they are.
Jäger heard Phantom's claws clip against the wind logs. He stirred, but kept his eyes closed.
He stared over at Boulder silently. And now Jäger was letting Boulder nurse some mutt's pups, and is expecting the pack to take care of them without question. Not on her watch.
Jäger lifted his head. He saw Phantom walk over. He assumed she was just greeting them.
Phantom stalked forward, her head low. Boulder, she barked quietly, her tone steady.
Jäger perked his ears when he saw the hostility in Phantom's stance. He quickly ran over.
Boulder turned to Phantom. What happened? They spoke low, careful not to wake the pups.
She took a step forward, her tone still just as steady. You know, we're starving enough as it is. Those pups of yours will only bring us trouble.
What is this? Jäger interjected with a subtle snarl.
She pricked up her ears, surprised by Jäger. She slowly stalked forward, placing herself between Jäger and Boulder. The large dog towered over him. Those pups need to go, she growled.
You have no authority to make a choice like that, Jäger tried to stay calm. Go back to sleep. We can have a civil conversation about this after sunrise.
Kiara lets out a whine, her ears falling flat on her head.
But maybe I should. We didn't attack those cats yesterday, and look where we are now. What good would those things do for us? Their father is probably some outsider mutt.
You accuse Boulder of meeting with a stray? The fur on his back rose. What kind of claim is that to your own packmate?
She stepped forward, looking down at Jäger. She's getting far too cocky. What does it matter if their father isn't here? What do we owe some random outsider?
What do you owe Boulder? He shot back. They're part of our pack. The pack you want to lead. You think this is how a leader acts?
I'm only concerned for our actual packmates. The ones that are starving and are being attacked every other day by some pitiful cats, she growled. She spun around, forcefully pushing Boulder aside. She grabbed Kiara, letting them dangle in her jaw. Besides, why do you care so much? She snarled threateningly.
He let out a whine. Their father isn't a stray! He bared his teeth, tensing. It's me.
She paused, hesitating for a moment. Then she dropped the pup, growling. What kind of leader hides that from their packmates? She barked, moving forward and forcing Jäger back.
Kiara, he murmured, seeing she was okay. He stumbled backwards, Phantom's large frame giving him no other choice. If the pack knew the pups were my successor, they would be in danger. Danger from dogs like you that would do anything to be on top.
Boulder got up and growled at Phantom before quickly picking up Kiara.
Phantom bared her fangs. I congratulate you on becoming a father, but it's made you soft. I think some other dogs should be leading things if you're too concerned with playing family.
My brother would be next after me. His tail waved uncomfortably. We came from the same household, and he has more wit than you. Even if I died today, you would never be the next choice.
I'd beg to differ, she barked out a laugh. Vector's a glorified yes man, and you know it. Phantom moved more into the open, staring down her leader. But if you're so certain I don't deserve this, then why don't we fight to prove it? She snarled, repeating to clarify. I want to fight you for leadership.
If you kill me, you leave the pups alone, he snarled, planting his paws on the ground. This was a death wish, and he knew it.
At least that'll be one less mouth to feed, she bared her fangs, lowering her head. Phantom then barreled forward, aiming a bite at his shoulder.
Jäger let out a yip, slipping backwards to escape the powerful jaws of the Leonberger. He tripped on his own back paws, however, and barely managed to stay upright.
Her teeth closed down on where Jäger had just been. Phantom spun around again, leaping at him and aiming for the shoulder again. This time it landed, and her large jaws clamped shut.
He let out a screech as large fangs sank into his muscle. He bit into Phantom's shoulder as well, putting them both in an awkward locked position until one of them let go.
Phantom snarled, letting go for a moment before leaning her head back and butting it into Jäger, in an attempt to get him off her.
Jäger fell back, but not without taking the chunk of Phantom's shoulder with him. He quickly sped it from his maw, trying to ready himself for the next lunge.
She howled in pain, her eyes wild with fury. She launched herself forward, using her weight to try barrel into him.
He darted forward swiftly. She was stronger, but he was faster. He reared up and planted his front legs on her back, using it as leverage to bite into the taller dog's scruff.
Phantom reacted quickly, using her paw to sweep his legs up from underneath him. She turned around, her heavy paws planting themselves on either side of the German Shepherd.
Jäger pushed his front paws up against Phantom's throat, but her fur was too thick to actually push her away.
Phantom leant down, her voice icy as she spoke. Give up yet, leader?
I'd rather die than have you in command, he rasped, staring into the Leonberger's eyes with intensity.
Phantom bared her teeth. So be it, she barked, lunging towards his neck.
Marty yelped. This is going too far. Thinking fast, he leapt for the larger dog's tail.
She yelped, turning back just as Marty bit her tail. Hey!
Spot's fur bristled at the sight. He barreled into the big dog to knock her off of Jäger.
Sorry, he whined, cowering before the larger dog. Please.
She stumbled back, snarling. What are you doing? Phantom barked.
We don't kill pack, Marty whined, feeling his emotions swelling.
Jäger trotted up and slammed his front paws against Phantom, shoving her further into the pack that surrounded her.
She stumbled forward, spinning around. She bared her teeth, furious. Have you all lost your senses? This is who we are! I gave him a chance to back down. He deserves to die.
The pack picks their leader, he growled.
Phantom spun around, looking for some support, someone to back her up, someone with a brain. However, all she saw was fear and anger.
Boulder walked up to Phantom, releasing a low growl before speaking. I think it's best the pack can continue to live without you.
We talk more about this? I think we all have problems, and it might be best to use words rather than fangs. Marty whined, trying once more to stop the fighting.
You can starve for all I care, she spat, glaring at the two. Phantom then turned to the rest of the pack. All of you can! If you want to get rid of the only real dog here, so be it. She huffed, turning away. At least I'm better off I don't have 2 mutts to feed. Thresher. She turned to the German Shepherd. Let's go.
You've moved up 2 ranks, Jäger joked.
Boulder looked at their pups, and when they saw the pups weren't seriously injured, they sighed with relief. Jäger, will they fit in with the pack?
Everyone is fine, he lowered his head as the rain battered his pelt. Yes, Boulder. They will gain their ranks when they are old enough to show their strength. For now, we are to protect them. Pecan is right. Let's get them out of the rain.